Hi, after a long time of not reading, I finally finished Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible. It was also made into a movie, which is when I had gotten interested in this book. So the movie stars Winona Ryder, and it came out many years ago when I was in college. And it is centered. So the book is centered around a certain case in Salem, Massachusetts. And the case is when a 12-year-old girl um, accuses someone of bewitching the others. And the 12-year-old girl is Abigail Williams, and the story begins with her being caught in a forest dancing around with some girls. And yeah, apparently, one of them is naked, and there is a slave from Barbados who is singing her native language, but who's singing in her native language, but it is portrayed as if she's invoking witching spirits. Now, as the story progresses, one finds that this girl actually had gotten embroiled in an affair with a married man, and and then Arthur Miller writes a little bit about the historicity of Massachusetts and the division of land, and how the role of vengeance played a very important part in the witch hunt. So if I didn't like you, I would just say that, and if I got the credibility of having been bewitched, then I could just say that you are the one bewitching me, and then you would be in trouble. Uh, so that's what happens. But a big plus of this book, like a lot of Arthur Miller's play, is the quiet and persistent tension of very sparse surroundings. So even when the book begins with the description of this of Mr. Parrish, he is the priest, and he is sitting by the bedside of his daughter, and his daughter is not well, she's not moving, and that's where the story unfolds, that she's not moving, and she seems to have been seized by a spirit, because she and the niece Abigail were in a some kind of a ritual. And um, uh, and there is a very interesting scene in the courthouse, and it's, I mean, they even taken out of context as a YouTube video, it still has merit. But and there's a scene uh, uh, where a group of girls, where, now by this point you don't know whether they are telling the truth or they are not, because how is everyone falling sick? How is everyone claiming to be cold when they are saying that they are cold? Suddenly, losing their voice, or suddenly just seeing things. But there's a courtroom scene where all these girls collectively, they start imagining that some bird is attacking them, and the bird happens to be the spirit of one of the witnesses, who is actually contesting that these girls are fibbing, or putting up a show. So this thing about mass hysteria, this commentary on mass hysteria, and you know that can you start believing in something if there is enough drama around it. So if 10 people compellingly believe that they are spooked out, then the cultural lore will take on a life of its own, and it will start infecting your brain and mind and heart also. And as the story then progresses, then this man that Abigail has an affair with, he's married, and Abigail then accuses his wife of being a witch, and then this is when this man can't stand for it, and he says that no matter what, I will come out and say that I've had an affair. Okay, now just to set in context, this is set in I think the 1500s or so, and uh, 1200s or 1500s, I'm not very sure. So the the adherence to the Bible and the alignment with the dictats and the covenants of the church are supreme. So, for a married man to admit that he has strayed, or for a girl to be told that, or to be found out that a girl slept with someone outside of a block, uh, that was, I think, punishable by very, very severe ostracism. Um, Anyway, so that lays the foundation of the witch hunt, and it remains to be seen, what whether the girls were lying, whether they were completely lying, whether they were partially lying, and stuff like that. So, if the Crucible is a classic, so it's likely that most of you have read it. But if you've not, then I'll not spoil it for you. But it's a very telling commentary, and a very I think prevailing commentary on what is happening even now. That if somebody disagrees with what is, um, you know, with what is accepted, and accepted perhaps because of a divine doctrine associated with it, or because it is convenient to accept it, then uh, then if you stray from that mindset, then there's a chance that you will be seen as a villain, and the steps and the lengths to which people will go to paint you as one, and then your way out of that could be to sell out all the people who think the same as you, so you co-opt basically. And this is interesting because the Crucible, apparently Arthur Miller wrote the Crucible as a satire because of what he faced when he was arrested and imprisoned for being a communist. I don't know if he was imprisoned for being a communist, but he was definitely put on trial, and he refused to name any of his other colleagues or writers as to whether they were communists or not. So Miller then refused to co-opt, and like I said, in the tradition of the death of a salesman, the Crucible also is. Um, I mean, the social commentary is very tight. The social commentary is very relevant. If you took the social commentary passages from the play, then it could feature in an op-ed even today. It need not be about a witch hunt that happened in 1200s or 1500s. So there's that, and I was not very interested in the movie when it came out, but I did start watching a few clips of it in the on YouTube, and it's nice. It's whatever little I saw. Winona Ryder is really something, and Proctor, the man she has an affair with, that character is played by Daniel Day-Lewis. So if I ever get the chance to watch the movie, I will also do that. So anyway, it was a good book, and I finally got on to finishing a book after a really, really long time. Thank you.